to ABC Learning Dhaka.
সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, এবিসি লার্নিং ঢাকার পক্ষ থেকে সবাইকে স্বাগতম। আমরা আজকের পর্ব শুরু করার পূর্বে চলুন একটু দেখে নেই বিগত পর্বে আমরা কি নিয়ে আলোচনা করছিলাম। Dear viewers, welcome back to ABC Learning Dhaka. In the last part or in the last session, we talked about few items together. They were types of auditor, need for financial statement audit or advantages of an audit, difference between internal audit and external audit, auditing and accounting differences, and auditors' responsibilities. Hope you have watched that part. In the meantime, that was important one because some of the issues have been discussed together and we saw there types of auditor, internal auditor, external auditor, statutory auditor, government auditor, and sophisticated one is forensic auditor. Then we saw the difference between internal audit and external audit and few other issues. So these are interrelated. That's why before starting my today's session, in my every video I discuss some of the things that I discussed earlier so that you can remember something, and I show you something that will be discussed in next class so that you can mentally take some preparation for that part. So it is very important when we take in a class, usually university, college, schools, there are three parts. First one is the flashback that we did in last class and what are you going to discuss today, second part, and third one is what will we discuss in next part. So this is the way of taking a standard class so far, I think. So that's why I always discuss some of the issues that I discussed earlier so that you can remember yourself something, and I give you some ideas what are you going to discuss next class. সুপ্রিয় দর্শকবৃন্দ, তাহলে চলুন শুরু করে আজকের পর্ব। তার পূর্বে আপনি যদি নতুন ভিউয়ার হন তাহলে অবশ্যই চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে নিন যাতে নতুন ভিডিও রিলিজ হওয়ার সাথে সাথে আপনি নোটিফিকেশন পান। শেয়ার করুন যাতে আপনার বন্ধু, আপনার প্রিয়জন ভিডিওটি দেখতে পায়, এবং লাইক কমেন্ট দিয়ে আমাকে জানান যাতে আপনাদের মতামতের উপর ভিত্তি করে আমরা ভিডিও তৈরি করতে পারি। তাহলে চলুন শুরু করি আমাদের আজকের পর্ব। Dear viewers, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to discuss a very important issue which is called materiality or material misstatement. International Standards on Auditing 320 describes the audit materiality or materiality. So first of all, let me discuss what is materiality. And my dear students or the viewers, you must memorize this small definition forever. Information is material if its omission or misstatement could influence the decision of the users taken on the basis of financial statement. That means if anything in the financial statement that can change the decision of the users, that is called materiality, and that is called material information. And if nothing changes your decision, that is not material, that is called immaterial. That's why auditors and reviewers are concerned with material misstatements rather than any misstatement in the financial statements. Material misstatements are those that are significant enough to affect the decision made by the users of the financial statement that I told you earlier. If any event or any situation, any matter that changes your decision, that is called material misstatement. This can be in terms of quantitative, that is in figuratives, and qualitative significance of misstatement. Before discussing details, let me give you an interesting example. I think all of you have heard the name of Titanic and the miserable incidents of Titanic. And let me share you an important discussion which are very much relating to the materiality. Titanic sank in 1912 and it was its maiden voyage. Maiden voyage means first and last voyage. And it was starting its voyage from Southampton, UK to New York. And it starts at 10th April to 15 April 1912. And it was the huge, gigantic. The captain of the ship declared nobody, even God, can sink it. But we know the situation, what happened later on. And one very natural thing, when you pass your CA or CCA or CMA or you qualify for any exam, everybody sends you congratulatory messages, right? Congratulations for being qualified ACCA, CA or CMA. So you get thousands of messages or congratulatory messages from your near and dear one, from your friends, from your teacher, whatever. Similarly, when Titanic started its first voyage, everybody from other ships, from other companies, from other countries, from the passengers was sending thousands of congratulatory messages to the system. And the captain was so much tired of receiving those congratulatory messages. That means junk of messages, huge messages can damage your system. Of them, one of the messages was very important for survival, which was sent from another ship that was passing a gigantic, a big iceberg. They sent a message to the Titanic: be careful, there is an iceberg in front of you which was twice as the size of Himalayas, huge. But the captain of the ship overlooked that message and could not read it out because of thousands of congratulatory messages. As a result, what happened? You know, everybody, the lost situations. So that's why I am telling this story you, because one of the messages was material message, but other messages were immaterial. That's why if you miss any material misstatement, or if you overlook any material event, that can cause a huge damage for the company. Similarly, that was happened for Titanic. That means the captain missed out very important message from another ship. That was the news of iceberg. Whatever, similarly in audit work, you have to be very much conscious about the materiality, which one is material and which one is immaterial. If you overlook any material misstatement, that can change your audit report. Anyway, viewers, I am discussing here today two types of materiality. One is quantitative, that means materiality by size. Another one is qualitative, that is materiality by nature. Let me first discuss what is materiality by size. The quantities or dollar amounts or taka amount or currency amount in the financial statement expresses the quantitative materiality. For example, quantitatively material misstatement could include overstating revenue, missing or not recording liabilities, understating expenses. So these are the effects of your materiality. And I am discussing qualitative a little bit later on. Let me first complete the quantitative materiality, which are just, or that is called materiality threshold or preliminary judgment of materiality. Usually, quantitative materiality is judged in three ways. One is revenue, another one is assets, another one is profit or profit before tax. So in short, it is called RAP. RAP, revenue, assets and profit before tax. Usually any misstatement that is part of sales revenue 0.5% to 1%, that means 0.5% to 1%, that is called material misstatement. That means if it is more than 1%, it is material. If it is less than 0.5%, it is immaterial. Now you can ask me question, what is in between these two? That means 0.5% to 1%. This is the area of auditor's judgment. If the auditor thinks it is material, then it will be considered as material. If the auditor thinks it is not material, then it will not be material. That means if it is 0.7%, then auditor can make his or her judgment. Similarly, any event that is more than 2% of total assets, material, less than 1% of total assets, immaterial, and in between 1% and 2%, very simple, auditor's judgment. And third one, for profit before tax, if it is more than 10% misstatement, that is material. If it is less than 5%, immaterial. Between this 5% and 10%, auditor's judgment. Now let me give you some examples so that it becomes very clear to you. Auditor found a misstatement or disagreement with the management in the financial statements of stealing taka 50,000. Other information of the company is as follows: profit before tax 50 lakh taka, revenue 10 crore taka, and assets 5 crore taka. So this is an example, simple example. It can be more, it can be less, whatever. Just I have made this example to make you understand. Now question is the above misstatement taka 50,000 is material or immaterial? So before giving decision, let me calculate this. I have given some situations over there. Situation number 1, taking 50,000 taka. So revenue, my amount is 10 crore taka and disagreement amount is 50,000 taka. Percentage is 0.05% and materiality threshold 0.5% to 1%. So if we consider from revenue perspective, this is immaterial. This is less than 0.5%. If we consider the asset is our 5 crore taka, our misstatement is 50,000 taka. So considering the percentage is 0.1%, viewers or my students, you can calculate yourself. 50,000 divided by 5 crore. My calculation may be wrong, you can check it once again. So here we also see this is less than 1%, so this is immaterial. And profit, we have 50 lakh and our misstatement is 50,000, so this is 1%. Again it is less than 5%, so immaterial. So for the above situation, we can say 50,000 of the disagreement or the stealing is immaterial for the auditor, because in all threshold this is less than their stated standards. Now let me give you again the same example. If the disagreement is 7 lakh taka in state of 50,000 taka, then what will be the situation? Just I am discussing in short. This is 0.7%, that means more than 5%, that is more than 0.5% but less than 1%. Here the auditor has the independence to make a judgment himself. For asset, this is 1.5%. again this is applying judgment by the auditor because this is more than 1% but less than 2%. Again for profit before tax, this is 14%. Yes, in this case we can say this is material. So you can give your opinion in our calculations. 7 lakh taka is immaterial for revenue and asset but material for profit before tax. So in our opinion, this is material for profit before tax. So you are applying your experience or you are applying your learnings from here. So these are the wording what you write in your audit report, that is very important, and we will again discuss when we will discuss audit report. Again we will discuss in details. Just I am giving you an overall idea. Now if we consider situation 3, now disagreement is 5 lakh taka. So here we see percentage is 0.5%. Again the auditor judgment here for asset 1%, auditor judgment, and 10%, this is also auditor's judgment, because if it is more than 10% we can say this is material. That we discussed for situation 2, it was 14%. Now if we consider another situation, say our stealing or disagreement is 10 lakh taka, then we can say this is 1% of revenue applying your auditor judgment. Asset, this is 2%. Again if it is more than 2% we could say this is material, but even we cannot say material until the auditor thinks. And for profit, yes, 20%, this is obviously material. So your conclusion will come to this way, 10 lakh taka immaterial for revenue and asset, but material for profitability. Now think situation 5, your disagreement amount is 15 lakh taka. Here we see in all cases more than the stated threshold. This is more than 1%, 1.5%, so more than 1%, so material. And for asset this is 3%, so more than 2% material, and 30%, obviously more than 10%, so material. See so in all respect 15 lakh taka disagreement for the above situation is material for revenue, for profit, as well as for asset. So viewers, I think you have understood how to calculate materiality by size or quantitative materiality. Now let us think about, before discussing qualitative materiality, one important thing is here combined materiality. Combined materiality is, say there are 4 situations, A, B, C and D. So A individually immaterial, B individually immaterial, C individually immaterial, D individually immaterial, but combinedly all together this is material. That's why sometimes you will get such situations where individual incident or item is immaterial, but all together or aggregate combined situation is material. In that case you have to mention in your audit report the A, B, C and D individually these are immaterial, but combinedly if we calculate these are material for the audit report or material misstatement. So my dear students, my viewers, this is very important to keep in mind. Some of the incidents may be immaterial individually, but may be material for combined situations. So just I have explained here other issues. If small errors will be noted down and added up at the end of the audit, it could be that several small errors add up to a material error overall. That means overall the items are material. For each individual audit test, the auditor has to decide in the advance how much of an error would be considered as material or considered as immaterial. That means auditor, before conducting the auditor must decide what is the materiality threshold of this company. Usually if the company is new company, material level it is usually high, and if the old company, usually materiality level or the consideration is a little bit low. Now we see material misstatement by qualitative. Here for qualitative materiality, whatever your size, either 1 taka, 2 taka, 100 taka, 1 crore taka, everything is material. The nature of item in the financial statements depends on the materiality. If it is qualitative materiality or qualitative in nature, it will be material by nature. For example, qualitative material misstatements are not disclosing certain related party transactions. We will discuss related party transactions in details later on. Just let me give you an example. Related party transaction means A and B are two related companies. We are buying and selling some of the goods which are which price is less than the market price or which price is more than the market price. This is called related party transaction. So the related party transaction must be disclosed to the auditors by the management. If it is not disclosed, it is material by nature. Not disclosing management's remuneration. Management remuneration must be disclosed, either it is small or big, because this is materiality by nature. And loan to a managing director or any director, this is very important. This is very important. If any director or managing director takes loan from the company, that must be mentioned, and when the loan to be paid, that must be mentioned. That is called materiality by nature. That means any director or managing director usually cannot take any loan from the company. These disclosures are important in evaluating how the company has been managed, although they may be small quantitatively in comparison to the scale of the company's overall operation. Whatever the size that I told you earlier, size here does not matter, because if it is material by nature, it is materiality whatever. So viewers, I gave you some example relating to the qualitative materiality that I told you earlier. Anything involved in the directors, like their pay, loan from the company, whatever the figure, either material or immaterial, anything suggesting fraud or illegal facts, these are material by nature. Now the preliminary audit strategies. The overall objective of an audit is to provide reasonable assurance, yes, because this is audit work, that the financial statements are not materially misstatement, and that the system of internal controls over financial reporting is effective. That is, for giving your audit opinion, you must say nothing comes to our finding that is material. So viewers, hope you have understood what is materiality, what is material information, what is immaterial information, what is materiality by size, that means quantitative materiality, what is materiality by nature, that means qualitative materiality. If you understand this class, it will be very much helpful for your overall auditing activities. If you do not understand materiality, you have a lack of knowledge in your auditing practices. So viewers, I am planning to finish today and invite you to watch next important video. Thank you everybody. Bye bye. সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, আপনাদের অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ এতক্ষণ সাথে থাকার জন্য। আমরা শেষ করার পূর্বে চলুন দেখে নেই আপনাদের জন্য আগামী পর্বে কি থাকছে। ততক্ষণ আপনারা ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন, সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। Dear viewers, welcome back. In next session, in next discussion of part 7, we are going to discuss very important one, fundamental principles of an auditor. That means, to be an auditor, what are the principles, what are the things that you must possess within you, that is called principles of an auditor, or sometimes it is called fundamental principles of an ECCA, fundamental principles of a CA, fundamental principles of a CMA. So very important one. I hope nobody will miss it. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you everybody. Bye bye.